So, ladies and gentlemen, in this video I would like to share with you a story of how I basically transformed my body and my whole life in just next months by going all in on fitness, implementing the right set of mindsets, tools, and basically doing everything that is required in order for me to achieve that outcome. And in this video I'm gonna put together my best possible advices that I can give you if you're at the stage where you wanna drop some weight or you wanna gain some muscle. I'm gonna try to make this video as informative and as concise as I can, so that is gonna be the last one you'll ever have to watch before actually going out there, implementing the things that you learn, and basically changing your life and getting into fitness finally. So, before we begin, let me tell you my story. From a fairly young age, which is about 10 or 11, I started to get really fat, like bigger than I should be. Like, I wasn't really super big, like fat that I couldn't move, but I was really out of shape at this young age, which is really not good for my hormones, for my health, and basically for vitality in the long run. And at the age of 13, I went to the doctor and basically I got told that I'm about to get diabetes if I don't change anything. And so that scared the shit out of me. And the summer that followed, I dropped like 2 or 3 kilos. I cut out almost all of the sugar. I went on a diet. I used to like cycle every single day almost. So I dropped a little bit of weight, but obviously not much has changed because I still used to have the mindset of me being fat. And then in a couple of months that followed the summer, which is like the school started and all the rest of it, I gained like 5 kg above it. So I basically ended up in a worse situation than I've been before summer. Thank God everything went okay. I didn't end up having diabetes, but in the next 2 years I didn't really think about it at all. So yeah, I knew that I was like fat and I knew that I was gonna drop weight. For some reason I was always certain that I'm gonna change my life at some point, but I just didn't know when, how, why, who's gonna help me, and all the rest of it. And then at the age of 16, I moved to another country. And that's when all the journey began. I used to quietly do like my 5 push-ups and ab crunches and some arm curls with bottles of water at 10 p.m. in the evening in my room. So that's basically where it all began. And then in like a month of doing this thing very inconsistently, I signed up to the gym for the first time in my life. This is very important because I have never went to the gym before. I've never done any type of sports since I was like 12 years old probably. Keep in mind I was really socially anxious. I couldn't get the membership. I sweated a lot. I talked a lot about this on my channel, but this is really important to mention because for a kid who didn't know anyone in this country, who had no friends, I was just there with my mom. I went to the gym with this social anxiety and I overcame myself. I bought the membership and I actually have been consistent ever since then. So for about 2 years, I've been training consistently every single week. At the beginning of my journey, I used to go like 6 to 7 days a week. I had like 2 months when I didn't skip a single day of the gym, which is probably too much and that is a little bit of an insanity, but I was really, really obsessed about it. Right now, mostly I work out for about 5 to 6 times a week, so I basically just enjoy it. And it's not that I have to go to the gym because I need to maintain my physique. I actually want to go there. I enjoy it. It's probably the most enjoyable activity of my days. So I don't want to make this video super long and I'm not going to give you the generic advice that everyone else gives you. I'm just going to share the things that worked for me. Some of them will be strange, but that's what I've done and I went a little bit even crazy on that. So as you probably could understand and as I talked at the beginning of the video, the most important part is your mindset. You see, as I said before, getting in shape fast requires obsession. And I'm not just talking consistency and passion or this and that. I'm talking obsession. You have to basically make it a part of your personality. It has to be the second you, it has to be your nature, it has to be something that you're dreaming about, you're thinking about constantly, you're just visualizing your body 6 months from now or a year from now, 5 years from now. You're just thinking about it constantly and you cannot help yourself but to not think about it. That's what I had when I started. I didn't have the best diet. I didn't have I'm gonna talk about it later on, but I didn't have a good diet at all. All I had was the obsession and I just didn't care about anything else. That was the thing that I thought about day and night, before school, in school, after school, on the way there, on the way out. So basically it was the only thing that was occupying my mind at that moment. And so I want you to implement this thing inside of your head as well. Because if you're here to get results fast and get results that are reasonable and results that's gonna last, you have to become obsessed. And that is the only way, at least the only way that I know. You could, of course, take it slower, and I'm not telling you that you should be dropping like 6 or 10 or, however many kilograms in just 6 months. This is just my example, and I'm not telling you to do the same. But I want you to have this mindset that's never gonna go away because I'm still quite obsessed. I take pictures every single time. I basically enjoy how I look, and my progress reinforces me to work harder, and that's something that I want you to have as well. This is incredibly, incredibly important. If there's one thing you take from this video, let it be this thing. Let it be the mindset and let it be the fact that you have to work on it. If you don't have it naturally, that's okay. I didn't have it either. all I did is I just simply turned every single social media that I was into, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything that I used to watch back then. I basically trained the algorithm to only show me the gym content, like Trend Twins, the C-Bomb, the whatever. Like I used to just watch those videos, and that would pump me up. And like 3 a.m. in the morning, I would be laying in bed watching the video, wanting to go to the gym. So yeah, with all that being said, let's just move on to the next part, which is consistency. So as I said, mindset is number one, and consistency, in my opinion, is number two. And again, as I said before, those two are kind of mixed, but I just want to talk a little bit more about consistency because that's the thing that a lot of people have a misconception about. Because I see a lot of the guys going to the gym, getting obsessed and fired up, as I talked before, and they're really like, they're basically doing the right thing. They're working hard, they're sleeping, they're eating right, but there comes the point where basically they just, you know, this valley of despair. Like, you know, if you know what cycle of emotional change is, a lot of people, when they get to stage two, like we've all been in stage one with whatever it is that we're beginning to do in our lives, and when it gets to stage two, it gets a little bit tough, and you're like, okay, I didn't think it was going to be that hard, and I have to try harder, and this is this thing, that thing. It's like, oh, I have to go to the gym when I don't feel like going to the gym. Oh, it's like I didn't sleep enough hours and I still have to go to train. And then the valley of despair comes, where you basically realize that it's not as easy as you thought it were going to be. All of those motivational videos they used to watch no longer really inspire you. The music that you're listening to is not firing up you as much. You don't really have the mindset anymore. So basically you just give up, and probably you start to go like 3 times a week, while before you used to go 5. Then you go 2 times a week, once a week, and then at what point you stop. You just don't go to the gym anymore, and the cycle repeats itself. You get out of shape again, and basically you have to watch all those videos again and get the mindset again, and basically just that way many years go by and you don't change anything about your body. So yeah, the best advice that I would give to anyone who's struggling with consistency is to commit. If you can, you could just probably buy a 6-month package or membership to the gym, or best case scenario, even like a year package to the gym, where you have paid the money up front, and so you basically feel guilty and not really, you just basically feel not right inside of your mind when you don't go there because you basically paid for it. And realistically, if you want to get in shape like that fast, probably you would have to go like 6 to 7 times a week. But I'm not suggesting you to do that. Probably the best thing that you can do, if consistency is not really a problem for you, is just going 3 to 4 times every single week, just being, you know, super consistent and taking the days off, the recovery days, sleeping right. If you probably have work or school, it's probably going to be the best thing that you can do to not sacrifice other areas of your life. So the point I'm trying to address is that you have to avoid burnout, because trust me, as I said, this is the thing that haunts many people. Everyone starts to go to the gym at the beginning of the year. They're like 60 in my gym, that's from my observation, like 60% new sign-ups. Then by the end of February, there's like 25% of those people left, and only like 5%, maybe 2% by April are still there. So what I'm talking about is that many people get burned out. Many people just go there with the full force, the obsession, the like insane huge promises to themselves, like they're biting off more than they can chew. They're saying, I'm gonna go out there 5 to 7 times a week, every single week. I'm gonna have all of this perfect, and obviously you're not gonna have all of it perfect. And when you're not gonna have all of those things perfect and aligned and basically as you envisioned it to be, you're gonna give up. Because why? You're not consistent and you are not in love with the process. You might be fired up, you might be obsessed at the beginning, but to keep this obsession in long term, it's the best to make yourself enjoy it. And probably the best way that I know to make yourself enjoy it is to not make yourself hate it in the first place. If you're not the kind of person who has a lot of physical energy, because I personally happen to be a person like, I don't know, I just have a lot of physical energy, right? I can cycle for 5 hours first day, then go to the gym the second day, then go to the gym the third day, then cycle for 5 hours again, and basically every single day and do some kind of long physical activity. But I know that many people are not like that, and that's not the problem at all. There's nothing wrong with you if you're this kind of person. But what I would suggest you to do is to get in love with the process of training, and, you know, get in love with the process of cooking those little meals and counting the protein and, you know, just doing all those little things. Because realistically, you're probably not gonna stick around and not gonna lose your weight or gain the muscle as fast as you want if you are not going to be in love with the process. And again, the one of the fundamentals to remember here is that you're not going to the gym to just lose weight, and that's just the thing that you have to accept. Because if you're just looking to get in shape and then you're just going to be, yeah, I'm in shape now, so I don't really have to train as hard anymore, that's not the case. And realistically, from what I've observed, I really like the way Alex Mosey talked about it. He gave this example where he basically, before, he used to sell like gym memberships and weight loss programs. He used to pitch different kinds of programs to different people. And so there was a woman, he said, like, who cares if you get in shape for like 3 weeks, for like 6 months? If you get in fat afterwards, you're still that same person with the same habits, and you're still a fat person. You get out of shape really, really fast. And that's basically how he used to retain his clients. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you're not in love with the process, and if your goal is to just lose weight and then, just sort of let it go, it's not going to work like that. It's the thing that you have to remember, because if you commit to it, and that's what I suggest you to do, then you're going to do it for life. And trust me, this is not something to be scared of. If you do everything right, and if you just, don't overcomplicate things, and if you just go there with, curiosity and the desire to understand how everything works, and, change your life along the way, this is going to be one of the best things that you ever do for yourself. Because honestly, getting inside of the gym, I'm saying this from this is the truth from the bottom of my heart. It was literally the best decision I have ever made in my entire life. I fell in love with it. I changed my body, and not just that, but basically my life in general. So yeah, not screwing up and avoiding burnout is probably one of the most important things that you can do. So yeah, let's just basically go over the practical side of things. Let's talk about my philosophy on nutrition. So now I'm trying to have a healthy diet. I'm trying to eat mostly whole foods, just nothing really super over processed. Yeah, I do have some like protein bars and some sandwiches and whatnot, but I'm trying to basically have like whole foods, like chicken fillet, the salmon, white rice, brown rice, and sometimes cheese as well. So the right ingredients, and basically my goal is to avoid as much of over processed foods as I can. But when it comes to getting into the habit of going to the gym, I don't actually think that is the best approach. If you're new to the gym, so you basically have this beautiful New Year's resolution that you're going to change your body, you're going to get on a better diet, you're going to go to the gym, you have just those all beautiful things written out, right? This is all great. But most likely, if you're going to try to go super strict, you're probably going to burn out. So what I did, and that's what I suggest people to do, this is at least the right thing from my point of view, getting into habit is the most important thing, especially when it comes to fitness. And so only then, when you have the habit, when you have the mindset, when you have everything when it comes to being consistent, and you know that you're not gonna give up ever again, you can start to optimize other things such as nutrition. But at first, I would suggest you to not overcomplicate things. Because listen, when I started, I had a terrible diet, like horrible diet. I used to eat pizzas before and after the gym, the burgers, some cheap and really, really over-processed protein powders and bars, and the milk and the cakes and just whatnot. I used to eat a lot of crap. And the reason why I was like that at the beginning is that for my whole life before that, I used to be a junk food eater. So that's the habit that I had since then. And the second reason is that I just basically saw that if you take a huge pizza, right, you can see that you have probably like 50 or 40 grams of protein inside of it. You probably have a lot of carbs, fats, and it's really overprocessed, and it's not the best thing for your health at all. So yeah, I'm not suggesting you to have a crappy diet. The point I'm trying to get across is that this is all secondary. The most important thing is just getting in there and putting in the reps, putting in the hard work. That's it. So yeah, another thing that came into my mind about the misconceptions that people have about training and losing weight is that people try to focus on losing weight, running on treadmills for hours, and just basically trying to burn as many calories as possible. And no, my friend, this is not how it works. So this is gonna sound a little bit counterintuitive, but the best way to lose weight inside of the gym is basically trying to gain muscle. Now, how is that? Like, how is that even possible? How am I gonna lose weight if I'm gonna try to eat more protein and just gain muscle? Am I not gonna increase in size? And the answer is no. You don't even necessarily have to change that many things about your calorie intake. The most important thing is to just eat enough protein and enough micronutrients, and not necessarily like a lot less calories. If you want to aggressively cut and just drop a couple of kilos in a few months time, then yeah, of course, by all means. But if your goal is to lose weight, gain muscle, and just look fit, I'm not telling you like be a bodybuilder or something, and don't worry, you're not gonna gain too much muscle. It's impossible. But again, if your goal is to just get fit and get a little bit of muscle, then the best way to do it is basically through weightlifting. And the reason to that is because when you're trying to burn as many calories as possible doing cardio, that might be good, but firstly, it's not enjoyable. Like, I hate doing cardio, I just do it because I have to. And thirdly, you're just basically burning calories only then and there. And the thing about weightlifting is that basically, like, you weightlift, you have a workout, and probably gonna burn a little bit less calories than if you just run for 2 hours straight. But the thing about it all is that actually after the workout when your muscles are sore, and this is the reason why they're sore, because they're recovering, and to recovery you have to burn calories. So your body burns a tremendous amount of calories and uses a lot of energy to recover your muscles after a hard workout. And because of that, again, you have soreness in your muscles the day after the workout, and then a couple of days later all of that disappears because it recovers and it's ready to work again. And to recover it, your body actually has to spend some energy. You have also this group, Zumba and things like that. I'm not saying that they're bad, but this is basically a form of cardio. And people who are trying to get rid of, the excessive fat that they have on their body, they go there and it never happens, or at least it doesn't happen as fast as they want, because this is just cardio. Yes, you're burning calories. This is amazing. You're moving your body. This is an incredible thing if you've never done this before. But this is not quite the thing which is suitable for you if you want to get fit and get into shape. So yeah, talking of recovery, and I'm sure that you've watched a lot of videos on how to recover, how to eat better, and do all of those things before you watch this one. So just quickly going over the process of recovery and some of the most important aspects of it if you're a guy especially. Obviously, you have to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, of good quality sleep every single night. And just to mention it is that if you go to bed by, let's say, 11 p.m. and you wake up at 7 a.m., you have not slept for 8 hours. Realistically, you haven't even slept for 7 hours probably. And the reason to that is because your sleep efficiency is on average probably 80 to like 85%, which is okay, but this is not nearly enough sleep that you need to be getting. If you want to get up at 7 a.m., it's best to probably go to sleep around 9:30 to 10:30 in order to get around 8 hours of sleep. This is something that I was shocked by when I first knew about it, but I basically have this sleep tracker on my wrist right now, and it basically tells me that in order to get enough sleep, like 8 hours of sleep, I have to spend in my bed around 10 hours, which is mind-blowing. It's crazy. So another thing about recovery is hydration. You have to drink plenty of water, like enough water. I never had a problem with it up until a few months before. I stopped drinking as much water as I used to drink before, and it really led me to in a really not the best shape and not the best condition of my skin. So it's basically really bad for your skin if you don't drink enough. So keep in mind that you have to drink enough water every single day. And another thing, and this is crucial and not many people actually talk about it, is stress. And especially if you're a man, stress is really bad for your testosterone. So sleep and stress, if you can get those two in order for your testosterone, for your recovery and muscle gain, then you're basically all set in terms of recovery. So yeah, I don't want to talk about recovery too much because, this is like the boring stuff. I don't think you want to listen to me talk about the things that you've probably watched many other people talk about. All of that being said, if there's one thing, again, that you take from this video, let it be the mindset and let it be the belief in yourself that you can actually go out there and change your body in your life. And if you'd like my personal help, my personal coaching with the mindset and with all of the things that I've described in this video, then feel free to book a free call with me and we'll see if we're a good fit for my coaching program or not. And if you want to check out my thoughts, some of the philosophies, things, and lessons that I've learned over the past couple of weeks and months, then check out my free email newsletter where every single week I'm just sending out one email with the best lessons and tools that I've learned throughout that week that are hopefully going to help you to make better progress in your life. So yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.